and welcome to It's Good to Be Bad, the podcast, the horror role-playing game equivalent of Abbott and Costello. I'm Dave, the host of this week's podcast, and this week I'm joined by Graeme.
Hello.
Ollie.
Hello.
Another Dave.
Hello.
And Matt.
Hello.
Don't forget to listen to podcast 0 to give you an idea of what we're up to. It's only 7 minutes long, so it's not a difficult listen and does give you some background on what we're about. Moving on, this gang of intrepid fools have gathered together, along with another player called Lee,
Hello.
to run a game of Vaesen, the horror mystery game set in Scandinavia. That's right, Swedish Call of Cthulhu.
Nice.
That's the entirety of our comments. Nice. Time to get the pesky serious stuff out of the way before we move into what seems to be the actual insanity of a game session. So here we go. We'll break this down into several categories. Release history, mechanics, experience, layout, and home. That's a new one. Release history. Published by Free League in 2020 with various supplements and adventures issued right up to date and into early 2024. Lots of free and pay what you like on drive-through role-playing game, so it's being well supported by the game community right at this moment. On its release, it did win various art awards, and the art throughout the book is nothing less than excellent.
No, agreed.
Especially the chins.
Especially the chins.
Chins are awesome.
We shall definitely come to the chins later on. I should have called this episode Shovel-Faced Bitch.
Still time.
That's a sneak preview. Into the game itself, you play characters who've had some trauma in the past, and this has left them with the ability to see Vaesen, the fae, the monsters, the creatures from folklore that do inhabit the world around us. It's an unspecified period of the 19th century in Sweden. You will attempt to solve mysteries as the Vaesen push back against the modern world. That world that threatens all those old values that everyone has.
And really bad accents as well.
Now, the bad accents are optional. The bad accents are not in the book. However,
I am disappointed.
You're disappointed with the fact that they don't
They don't explicitly say affect a poor accent at this point.
Well, believe it or not, we do affect extremely poor accents. Except Matt.
You should demonstrate.
You should demonstrate.
His accent is absolutely awful.
It's Robot Danny Dyer with a Swedish accent. It's a very simple game. Very few mechanics.
Or simple people.
4 stats: physique, agility, empathy and logic. Only a handful of skills, rounded out with a few talents. The skills all allow for multiple options in the game. You add the stat, the skill and the talent together, get a number of d6 that you roll, and every 6 you get is a level of success. Every other number isn't. Couldn't be easier.
Any 6 you get in the game is a fucking miracle.
Well, it is for you because your dice hate you.
True.
Also becoming quite true that the more dice you roll, the fewer 6s you tend to get.
And vice versa, Graeme.
Absolutely, yes. All those 2 dice double 6s I get. 16 dice, no 6s.
God damn it.
In addition to your stats, each character gets a role-playing hook, a dark secret, a past event that gives the characters the ability to see Vaesen in the first place. As an adventure starts, you get options to roll resources, to the sort of stat, to see how much equipment you can buy, and then you train to give you a bonus in one of your skills in particular. Biggest problem you faced, I believe, is probably the fact that you have absolutely no idea what skills are going to be important. You just guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
On your way to the adventure. But I sometimes think that's quite a good thing.
I'm trying to focus more recently on things I'm bad at.
You're going to focus on a hell of a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're back to the accents again, aren't we?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Right, my lord.
Right, my lover.
Home, a whole new thing. In addition to just having a group of players, you get a base of operations, which provides you with Castle Gillenkrauts, an abandoned old ruin that you renovate and uncover as the game progresses, each room giving you different bonuses, character bonuses and abilities. The ability to store weapons and equipment from a previous adventure, always handy. Layout of the game is very easy to follow. It's well signposted for the most part, with a really simple rule set, so it doesn't take long to find what you need. To be honest with you, there's so few rules in the book. It takes you about 10 minutes to learn the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. If you've done any kind of role-playing before, yeah, you're straight into it, really.
I would say that the book isn't necessarily laid out as well as it could be. There's lots of jumping about trying to find things. But overall, quite well put together.
It's still well signposted, isn't it? It's not Marvel.
No, it is definitely not.
For the most part, definitely.
Yeah.
And let's face it, most rule books are crap in some regard. You know, there'll be a rule that is pretty important, but it won't be. There might be a combat rule, but it'll be in healing. or there might be a healing thing and it's in resting, or, you know.
You're not wrong there. And it's definitely true of Vaesen, that finding out how to heal your bits and pieces, I can't remember what they're called now.
It does have a working
Characters.
index, though, which is...
It has a sort of working index, because you look in the index and it tells you it's on page 56 and it's actually on page 58, so it's not quite...
But it gives you a page number.
It's got to be a right page number.
I believe conditions was the word you were looking for.
Struggling vainly.
Which I do like as an aspect of it.
But you can give yourself a condition in order to
Yeah.
get a free reroll.
It doesn't, and it's not free, because the more you have, the more it's going to impact you.
Yeah, Dave is riddled with conditions
Oh,
on the
yes.
grounds that he can't roll a 6 to save his life.
Yep.
He's still alive, though.
Also pretty true.
He's still alive, though.
Well, yeah, at least this is one character you haven't killed off, so...
I think it's a much more thinky game than a lot of role-playing games. We've got no place for a power gamer in it. You just end up dead quicker.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that impending doom feel that comes with Cthulhu, although it does have the fear
Of the unknown.
rule. No, it's got a fear rule in it that you're supposed to kind of introduce impending fear throughout various things, which I have done, down in the mines, seeing all of the horrible things happening in the forest with the corn dollies in the trees. All of that was designed to kind of put you not at your ease. However, the fact that I introduce a character who's meant to be rather creepy and you refer to him as a nonce within 25 seconds tends to undercut the fear somewhat in there.
My bad.
I think that might just be us, though.
That is very true. That is very true. Due to the investigation nature of the game and a definite lack of combat, we're left with various sessions of Vaesen that have required some heavy editing. Who wants to listen to an hour of skill choosing and equipment hunting? So snip, snip, snip. There's a heavy amount of divergence, which has been little to do with the game and more to do with our personal life. So out it came, and we whittled a nearly 4-hour session down to just over an hour.
There's also a hell of a lot of incompetence on our part in failing to follow blatant clues.
But that's us every week.
Speak for yourself, that was awesome.
We shall see whether you were awesome or not.
That's a lie.
We've also started to notice the tendency to practice shaking dice in anticipation of a roll. Tempt dice wanking.
I've just got wanky hands, I can't help it.
That is true.
God.
That's staying in.
We hope you enjoy, and don't forget, it's not paranoia. There is something in the dark, and it's specifically watching you, Matt. Vaesen, a game of Scandinavian horror.
Right.
Yes.
Just a reminder, no dice wanking.
Aww.
But regular wanking's fine.
It's encouraged.
Don't tell me how to live.
Vaesen, which is often a book you carry in your sack, is it not? No, he's emptied his sack.
It is depleted this evening.
You have emptied your sack. Where
He's a
did
bit
you empty it at home, or
He's a
did you
bit
empty it
tired.
elsewhere?
Any chance I get, really, but...
I know, but I'm going to rub the old one out.
You rub one out.
It's terrible one out, yeah.
More than one there.
So we renovated some of the house as well, didn't we?
Well, I don't think we did.
Hillenkraut's Castle in Uppsala now has a library which assists you in finding clues. It's got a local tavern which will give you a +2 on your recovery roll, and it's got a cellar vault which currently contains a gun.
Yes.
You also have a butler called Algert Frisk, and what appears to be a female, you're not quite sure, cook, but she's called Goethe Frisk. But she has a strange feeling of looking like Hattie Jakes, who's been in boxing. You are in Castle Gillenkraut's. You are in the castle. Algot, your butler, is slouching around, looking as miserable as ever. I mean, you've opened up extra rooms. You've even put the lights on and things like that. He is not a happy bun.
He's got to clean up now, isn't he?
Dust has uncovered the grime.
Algot Fisk and his cheery demeanour wakes you up once again with his breakfast, which has been lovingly prepared by the, half-human chef that you've got living in the place.
That's a lot of sausage.
Thank you very much, says Algot.
Yeah, don't go put some trousers on.
I'll put some trousers on now. He's just tripping over it.
Is it, shirt and jacket on the top?
French nude.
Is he free balling it? Is it?
Algot says, "Is there anything I can do for you gentlemen today?"
Is there any news? Anyone contacted us?
Well, yeah, it's in the mail.
We'd like to see the mail, please.
Can you make some coffee as well, if you don't mind?
2 things. I can't do 2 things.
Do the one thing, then do the other thing.
Right, I'll get the coffee.
You could put the mail in the coffee and then deliver it.
Yeah.
and he thumps out.
Yeah.
Trouble is, of course, you do realise that this is one of those castles where all the kitchens are downstairs.
Yes.
And the only functioning stairs are right at the far end of the house.
Yes.
That's why your coffee's always tepid.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Just said that.
Do we have a dumb waiter? But yes, we do.
I don't talk. What are you on about? 10 minutes later, he comes back with the coffee. Some tepid coffee.
Excellent.
For you. 1 cup.
We just assume this is
Thank
how
you.
coffee is.
1 cup. Anything else?
Yes, we'd like the mail, please.
Right, okay.
Has to go to an equally distant part of the house.
Right, it's in the kitchen. I'll put it on the side. He heads out. 10 minutes later, he comes back. What was it you wanted? Oh, no.
Oh, it's all right. I just pull out the gun and shoot him.
The mail. Right, okay. Well, there's a message that needs the top cutting off because it's got the name of the adventure on it.
Excellent.
If I just do that, you'll never know. It's a little difficult to read because it's in swirly handwriting, so I shall read it out for the sake of the deaf. To whom it may concern.
That's not us then.
I urgently request your assistance. My name is August von Meyer. I am a forest owner and industrialist, and I own one of the largest sawmills in northern Sweden, located near Härnösand, where I'm working to modernise the region. To this end, I am procuring heavily forested tracts of land and employing large parts of the local population in said areas. Some time ago, 2 of my employees, Mr. Gottfried Hammerstrom and his assistant Nils Lindeskold, were sent to a small village near Farnster in northern Härnösand. It's located deep in the wood, and the land was said to be highly fertile and abundant with forests. Hammerstrom was therefore responsible for ensuring a transaction between the villagers and yours truly. But now, alas, tragedy has struck. One night, poor Nils returned on horseback, wearing nothing but his nightshirt. He was in a frantic state, rambling about some evil beast that he beheld in the village. Nils has not been the same since, and he can barely speak. Hammerstrom is missing, and I fear what may have befallen poor Gottfried. I sense that something is amiss. That is why I'm writing. I would like to enlist your services in uncovering the truth about what happened to Hammerstrom and stopping the beast mentioned by Mr. Lindeskold. Should you accept the task, you will, of course, be richly rewarded. I shall wait you in Härnösand to explain more and arrange your trip to Farnster. Sincerely, August von Meyer.
Some beastie.
How good.
Beastie is roaming the woods.
August.
Not my ex-wife, is it?
Right,
We'll have to-
okay. Finding a map in the library, perhaps.
Yeah, I would like to do some library research. My name is Sigurd Brickeston.
I have got Edvin Magnusson, which is Mr. Matthew,
Mm-hmm. Private Dick.
and
Manfred Blixt.
Manfred.
Manfred Blix. Ollie, you are called
Sextus Otto Lindberg.
your little homunculus,
Is
Lee.
Arne Gustafsson, I believe.
The message has arrived. There is a horrendous beast in the forest. So, Sigurd Breckeston,
Hello.
he's library guy. So, Dave, you will need to make me a form of library roll.
Resisting the urge to dice wank.
No wanking, please.
Right, let's see. Well, shit. Once again,
Great start.
the devil
Great stuff.
vomits in my kettle.
He doesn't find anything out.
Swing and a miss.
Maybe it's too obscure.
Farnster.
They hate me.
It is.
Wow.
The dice hate me.
The more dice. G rolls 2 dice and gets 2 sixes.
I'm going to say, yeah. I'll walk into the library.
He got 2 sixes. I fucking called it.
I hate my life.
As if that fucking happened.
So you have made a vague attempt to discover what there is to know in your library about Farnster and failed, but you have found something out about
The lady's there.
August von Bayer. About him, he's a very wealthy, very successful industrialist, purchasing much of what is known as the Angermanland forests. And he
furious
does
lord.
have a tendency to use local hires. So he will build a sawmill and hire people from the local area
That's good.
Well, they know the topography for starters.
He's actually an industrialist who's not known as a total out-and-out bastard. He's known as a man who invests back in the area. I mean, he's described it as an opportunity for civilization to expand north.
But as we know, the Vaesen are pushing back against this sort of thing.
He's into trafficking as well then. Well, you did mention that
Log
he shipped,
trafficking.
he did mention that he shipped abroad.
Waka waka.
G this week is played by Fozzie Bear. Algot turns back up with a pad of paper in his hand and a pen, and he pops it on the table and chucks the pen after it. So
Diligent as always.
he goes, "You'll want paper then, will you?" There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I have to get some supplies and ready the horses. We're going to go on a
Which part of Scandinavian are we in?
Not the part where
adventurous.
No, are we
Understand
actually?
this.
Are we in Sweden? Are we in Norway?
Yes, you are. You
Yeah,
are
yeah.
in Uppsala.
Uppsala, yeah.
Uppsala, which is 360 kilometres between them in an almost completely straight line. Härnösand is the nearest area to Farnster, and it's a goodly distance away from there because it's right in the middle of the forests.
Yeah.
That's Härnösand, so 360 kilometres to your first destination.
Just to our meet point.
Is there a train?
Yeah, we definitely need train travel for
between
this.
there.
Well, the journey itself is going to take you probably one of these overnight trains. You would need to, first of all, get a train from Uppsala, probably to Anger, where you will take a stagecoach to Härnösand. That will be a 24-hour train ride to get to Anger, and then you'll have to take the stagecoach, and that's going to be further time. And then you will be able to meet August in order to find out your first pieces of information, which will lead you to your horrible and inevitable demise.
So,
Excellent.
so as it stands, there's been no deaths that we know of.
There's
No.
there's someone missing.
No, there's just somebody
and then
disappeared.
there's someone who's turned up going, "There's a beast in the forest," probably.
He's raving. I mean, it could be anything. That's the problem. If he's snapped,
Well,
you've no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before we do anything, do we not need to pick advantages?
Yes, we need to roll for equipment.
Yes.
as well.
So rolling for equipment will require you to roll one dice per fortune or
resources.
cash monies, to see how many sixes you get, to see what you can afford to buy.
2 6s.
Two, and it depends if you wish to use group or
Well,
not
I think
group.
we've been using group.
You've got 5. 4 sixes.
Mr. Matt, nothing.
You have 1 gun and 2 horses, plus your own personal equipment.
Yeah.
Can we test the gun? Oh, we've got 1 gun and 1 horse.
Well, your equipment list is here
Huzzah.
in the book.
A tinder box. I mean,
Tinder, we're not going on Tinder.
Grinder. 1 tinder box.
1 grinder box.
I will carry the Tinder box.
And Dave has done that. At very least, he can light a match to see what's killing him.
Like the horror movie lights a match and,
Christ.
and it gets blown out by the werewolf.
Yeah.
Now, once you have finished with your equipment, which you've gathered hunting equipment, a hurricane lamp, and a tinder box, it's time to decide on which skill advantage you want for the adventure. So we've got dodging and vigilance and investigate and medicine. A quick recap. Hunting equipment,
Yes.
which Graham's got. A hurricane lamp, which Ollie's got. A tinder box, which Dave's got, which will help you light your hurricane
Yes.
lamp. And advantages, you've gone for a dodging, active listening, a little bit of investigate to give you some knowledge of the area, instant recall on these kind of things, a bit of first aid information, and his manipulation skills. Those will last you for the adventure, gives you +2 per game session. You are now scalloping your way through the landscape.
clippity clop.
Clip. The journey from Uppsala is definitely, let's describe it as a long one. The day of departures is a typically mild day, nice and warm, sunny spring day, and the sound of the steam whistles. The train sets off from Uppsala, heading for Anger. It's going to be 24
There's
hours.
nothing quite like that sound.
24 hours on a train. You will be in little sleeping compartments, more than likely sharing 2 to a compartment, because that's the way it is. So you 4 will have 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. The baggage cart is perfectly acceptable for. He doesn't actually book a train; he just like hops on as
Well,
a
I
train
just
leaves
assume
the station.
he crawls onto the. He goes, ooh.
They're not pet friendly on this train.
No, he's still rabid.
No, the dog gets a ticket, but they won't let him on.
He's still rabid. He hasn't had his shots.
The trees of the Swedish countryside slide past your windows. And there is still, because you are train noises subside, there's still lingering snow to be seen on the mountains. Anger is currently as far as the railroad goes from southern Sweden. It has not become that civilised that you can go any further. At which point you detrain.
Oh God, it's difficult to read on here as well.
Harnesand. You will take a stagecoach to Harnesand.
I'm assuming since there's two umlauts on it, it's not even remotely what we said.
It's probably
Aberdeen.
Yeah. On the grounds that I find the Scottish accent easier to do than Swedish.
See you.
Yeah. Can I help you? Yes, I'd like to buy a deodorant. Boy.
Or arsehole.
Neither. I want to trim my armpits.
Classic.
After a few hours, all you see is trees.
I'm doing some sketches in my notebook for my Vaesen cataloguing, since I have now 5 in the book, because there's Revenant, Mermaid, Kraken, Mare and Troll.
Yeah. So for Hoops and Lols, Harnesand is right at the bottom here.
Okay.
That's where you're going, okay?
That's the start of the map.
That is the start of the map.
It's interesting that it's right at the bottom of the map.
And that's
right to the top, yeah.
That's Farnster. Harnesand is much cooler. The air is crisper. It is not industrialised in any way. Therefore, it's nice. The closeness of nature is felt throughout the whole area. This is a calm and relaxing place. Uncivilised, you would call it, but it is nice.
Yeah.
You arrive in Harnesand. There are cargo ships being loaded with timber. There's a huge number of logs being floated down the river, and you are deposited fairly close to Von Meyer's sawmill.
Nice.
Which you will be pleased to know is a modern steam-powered affair.
Mm-hmm.
The loud roar of steam engines can be heard. A fine mustachioed gentleman is available to greet you.
Oh my word.
That is August von Meyer.
He's clearly combing the ladies out of that as we
The fact that he is phenomenally wealthy doesn't hurt either. Tiny cock, huge wallet.
So what attracted you
to the millionaire? You are basically, escorted through to a well-furnished office where this gentleman sits, puffing on a ludicrous 17-foot cigar.
Oh, is there 3 men having to hold it up?
No, they're right. It's currently still being rolled on the thighs of Brazilian women.
Surely there'd be local women he hires from.
No. He's imported them specially.
You got to do it right.
Yeah. Come in, sit down. What an interesting aroma. Oh.
Yeah, you have to excuse our pet.
He's been eating sawdust since we arrived.
Oh, you didn't mean the dog?
No.
Unfortunately.
Does he speak?
No, we haven't trained him yet.
Sit.
Shit.
No, sit. Oh, Christ.
At least the aroma's improved.
I wish it was solid. Fetch a mop. Right. Yes. Come on in. Sit down. It's a pleasure to meet you. I mean, he firmly grasps you by the hand. I mean, you're fairly sure he's just popped a knuckle or two on your hand. Excellent. Well done. Ah, he says, slapping you on the shoulder. I recognise a military man there. And yourself, sir? Well, you're a military man. You're in a uniform.
Clive of India over there.
And it's a pleasure to meet you.
Dr. Lindbergh.
It seemed like you were in a spot of bother.
I'm not in a spot of bother at all. I'm perfectly fine. However, Gottfried and Nils, that's a different story. Gottfried, of course, what has happened to him, we do not know. He has gone. Gottfried Hammerstrom and Nils Lingerskold, they went up to the area. Lingerskold is back here in Harnesand.
Well, I also I am a doctor. I'd like to give him a physical examination.
Not involving yoghurt, is it?
Yes, of course. The famous doctor that you have with you. Yes, indeed. Your exploits are becoming quite well known in this part of the world. I've heard of you, Dr. Good and sexy. Dr. Lindbergh.
He did get my business card.
Yes, Dr. Lindbergh, your exploits are And you've brought some associates of yours from presumably from the society.
Absolutely.
A pleasure to meet you, gentlemen.
Yes, he's the brains of the outfit, and he's a dick.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, we'll get this all wrapped up for you as soon as we can.
Excellent. Ask away. I am yours. I am your cipher, gentlemen.
This is the first you've heard of anything.
It's the first I have encountered because it's the first time I've sent people to the area.
Right.
Do you know roughly how long it would take us to get to the area?
Ooh, a couple of days by coach. The roads to Farnster are wild still. They are not civilised roads. It is still rather remote. And as a result of that, that means it's one of the reasons I want to go there. This is a completely new area. These people will benefit greatly by the introduction of business to the area. Nils and Gottfried work for me. I sent them up there about 2 weeks ago. Farnster, it is, it's heavily forested. It's very fertile. It will allow us to plant new trees. They will grow. We'll then be able to refurnish the mill and regenerate the area anyway.
How long ago did he return?
Only a couple of days ago. Well, only about a week ago now. It was, when I wrote to you, it was relatively recent.
Getting the days right for certain things
Timeline.
could
No,
really matter.
you're absolutely right.
I don't know, say, if it was something that only appeared with the cycle of a celestial body.
Yeah.
It's got very little contact with the outside world. It's more or less self-sufficient. Other villages around the area have said that, old people in that area, they've got the blood of God on their hands.
Until we interview him,
Yeah.
we won't know much more.
It is a valid point. For you, I would like you to go there, find out what has happened to Hammerstrom. Gottfried has just disappeared.
So, what can you tell us about Gottfried and Nils as people? Well, what kind of personalities, what
trustworthy,
skills?
Trustworthy. Well, they're not engineers, foresters, for want of a better word. They're part of my negotiating team. That's what they do.
All right.
And they're based out of Hammerstrom.
Yes, they are.
No, sorry.
Hammerstrom is his gentleman.
Hammersand.
Yes, Aberdeen. Yes, they're based out of here. This is one of my principal operations in this area.
Right. So, where is Nils?
He is currently locked in a room at the far end of this particular facility.
Oh, right.
For his and other people's sake. The doctor here wishes to give him the once over, as it were, but
Well, I'm worried he may be concealing a physical injury that may be debilitating him, especially if it's infected. We have no idea. There may be a sign of infection, in which case this facility needs to know as soon as possible.
Could have hit a dodgy mushroom, that's true.
True.
He could be tripping.
True. Tripping line, fantastic. He's been drinking reindeer piss or something.
Is Nils, you say he's locked up?
yes, he is indeed.
He is, right, okay.
We don't tend to go near. He gets rather violent if you approach his cell.
Okay. Thinking about going, if I aggravate him, it doesn't really matter.
Maybe your stench will put him to sleep.
Well,
Does it smell of chloroform?
just tell me the truth, just to get me away.
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously, I'll get my comedy oversized mallet for putting the patient to sleep.
Yeah, the anaesthetic hammer.
Yes.
I'm gonna go anyway. I'm just gonna maybe fill my hip flask of stuff.
You drink it in front of him to teach him a lesson.
Bad cop, worst cop.
Is it
Pungent cop.
Because I can possibly relate because of my history. That's my trauma.
Okay, yeah.
Well, if you can calm him down.
Everyone likes a nice dog, so he might... Unless it was a giant dog that attacked
that's
him.
the kind of thing I was kind of thinking of, and it was...
You approach the door. It's all is quiet within. You open the door, and something wild-eyed and staring, with hair all askew. He's still wearing perfectly, he's not wearing a straitjacket or anything, because he's actually only in a cell now. There is no mental hospital in the nearby vicinity.
Right, okay.
So he's still got his suit on, effectively, or his jacket's in the corner, but his cuffs are all undone and his collar's off. Because they were, and he rushes towards the door, eyes wild, and just looking as though he hasn't slept for ages. In a mad panic, something has driven him.
Yeah,
spooked him big time.
Right, okay.
And they push you in and shut the door. yeah. You do that, and he goes, what a stench!
I'm going to go in with them.
Two of you go in. He dashes in behind you. So there's two of you now.
Right, we might as well go to the pub then.
Yeah.
So I've got my flask of stuff.
You have indeed. You're like a chug.
Oh yeah. Oh lovely.
Get off. So I'll chug and then go. Yeah, offer it.
Yeah, he's not interested at all. He rushes into the corner and huddles into the corner. He's babbling, just kind of slowly to himself. red eyes. The red eyes.
Red
The
eyes.
devil's eyes stared at me.
Surely some standard psychological practice of the time. Tell him to snap out of it and slap him 3 times. It should come in handy.
Oh, thank you very much. That's better. Oh, for a second I very nearly lost control there.
Observation and empathy.
Yes, those are.
Basically attempting to psychoanalyze him.
It's a medicine road.
Is it medicine?
Yeah.
Oh, even
Batshit
better.
crazy.
Even better.
Yeah.
2 sixes.
You will be surprised to know that he's suffering from shock. It's quite severe shock.
Is he physically injured? I mean, he's malnourished by the looks of it.
Well, he hasn't eaten for a few days.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit, and bits of food are smeared all over the place, and he's clearly soiled himself in a corner.
But what about the guy we're here to see?
You finish it kind of examining him, and he just goes...
Can give him a sedative if he wants to get some sleep.
He's not really in a position to let you get close to him. He's got scratches on him left by branches, from the look of them. They don't look like animal tracks. If he's been running through a forest or something, he's
Is he covered in mud or anything like that?
fallen in a ditch. But he was on a horse when he arrived. He's only in his nightshirt. But
Seems to imply they were at least camped nearby where they were headed. If he's in a nightshirt.
So it's happened at night, probably, if he was in a night.
Just thinking it was the other guy with the mask on. Yeah. And he's ashamed, and that's why he's it's the beach, no.
Oh, it turns out it's a poorly done prank.
Yeah, and the other guy's embarrassed, which is why he hasn't come back.
Wouldn't that be good? That'd be easy.
It would be.
yeah, this man is not in a healthy state. He's not really very coherent in any way, shape or form.
Red eyes, devil's eyes. Right, okay.
He's got some scars. He's clearly suffering from some form of shock.
I don't want to overly agitate him more than I already have.
Yeah, I mean, I will try one. I'll try it anyway. Just
Okay.
you never know.
What is it you're going to basically go for a manipulation? role?
Manipulation, yeah, but it's the kind of thing where it's like I'm going to start talking about my own history, and
Okay.
so it's like I know what it's like. Found my daughter, my son, my wife shredded and ripped apart. I've had to hold my daughter's hand. It's, just make a roll for it. It's 6, isn't it?
It's
Not a 6 to be seen.
For fuck's sake.
He listens. He does actually listen to you. So clearly there's something. There might be a little bit of a connection. Right up until the point he goes for you. Yee!
Okay.
Growling like something.
that's all right. We'll just shoot
He
him.
attempts to kind of bite you, and you kick you.
Slap!
You can slap him
Right.
if you
Well,
wish.
what we do is we spend 3 rounds beating him up.
That probably solves it.
Yeah.
I don't want to just
Scream and snap out like
Yeah.
So it's close combat, isn't it?
It will be your physique
Physique.
and your close combat.
2
Ollie wants to beat him off.
Right. I can get a rag
and
to
2.
laudanum, and I'll just stand in the corner huffing it while he beats him up.
Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah.
The bloke rushes towards him, growling, and he just kicks him in the
He's
concrete.
John cocks him.
Right in the nuts. Dry heaving. Mel replaces the growling. It seems as though Nils is not giving you much more. Now that he's just... I mean, he's not throwing anything up. He hasn't really eaten for a couple of days. So it is dry heaving, I'm afraid.
Okay.
While he just pops... basically, the door opens. You pop back out. You've got very little out of him. Other than the fact he's suffering from shock.
Yeah.
He's clearly ran or rode headlong
He
through
doesn't
stuff.
appear to be diseased, and doesn't appear to be physically
No.
impaired, other than the fact that he's gone
Off his
complete tonto. Basically, it's almost like a bomb's gone off next to him.
You'd compare it to shell shock.
Yeah.
If you knew what shell shock was.
Well, cannon fire. The Crimea was all the rife with that.
Guns to the left, guns to the right.
Right.
I'm not fucking going. The August sort of huffing on another cigar is, well,
Would you happen to know who they spoke to when they got to the village? Or did you not get any report back from them?
well, we haven't had any report back from them because one of them came back and he was like this. However, they were staying with Marta Karlström. I'll give you a huge fat bag of cash to take with you. So she'll put you up.
Okay.
Right, good. We'll get on the train, go home. Yeah, we sorted it out.
It was just a myth. There's nothing there.
Mythbusters.
We'll
It's fine. Just some bollocks. Yeah.
we'll give you one of our stagecoaches as well. They'll take you.
Excellent.
Stayed with Marta.
Marta Karlström.
So we've found out that this thing has red eyes.
The red eyes, the devil's eyes.
One person came. Two person went into the forest. One person came back.
Oh, it's Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do your Tina.
Don't have any fun.
Did he do any? Were there any research documents?
There is no research documents.
Right. Okay.
Whatever happened in Farnster terrified him so much he just got up and left.
As I say, the area itself is just an uncivilized dump in the middle of nowhere. So we were looking to buy it and use that as a stepping stone to civilise the area, create a hub for all of the villages in the area.
We spend the night.
Oh
here,
yes, you could certainly spend it. I'll
and we
put you
get
up.
kitted up for heading off to Farnster.
That is not a problem. There is obviously. I shall get my cook to lay on some food. You can stay with me, and you can set off in the morning.
I'd rather she cooked it rather than laying on it.
Does he have an on-site physician here at the logging camp?
You.
Does he need? Does anyone require medical attention while I'm here?
Not unless someone. I mean, it's a massive, massive saw powered by water. If somebody falls into that, there's no medical attention.
No, I'm just meaning in
we need a bin bag.
in general. No, that's fine.
I can put him out of his misery.
We could use someone who knows the forest with us, like a.
It'll be the villagers once
Yes.
we get there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to Marta Karlstrom, the woman you will be staying with.
Yeah.
Then she will probably have much more information.
I mean, when she turns into a werewolf, it's going to be a real plus one. Werewolf.
Thank you.
It better not be werewolves.
In the morning, after a resplendent meal of, I don't know, salmon and
Sawdust.
broiled potatoes, you get on board another unbelievably comfortable stagecoach
Oh,
where
excellent.
you are bounced and shaken apart
Boingy, boingy.
for another 24 hours.
Yeah. Good.
While you are dragged through an endless array of trees. Now, if you've ever been in a real forest like this,
It's scary.
when you start to travel and you sort of think, oh, it's very pretty, it's all trees. And then after 4 hours, it's still exactly the same and it doesn't feel as though you've moved a
No,
pegging inch.
it seems like you've gone round in a circle. And you're
There is
right back where
nothing
you started.
happening. Another tree. Well, whoopee shit.
I spy with my little...
Something beginning with T. Tree. Next.
No, it's terror, actually.
I spy with my little eye. Something beginning with A. Another tree.
It's something bigger with a B. If you say birch, I'm going to kill it. No, it's branch, actually.
And as you travel through the delightful, rather chilly, but pleasant enough spring air, you start to notice that the sun's just beginning to dip.
Sun's getting real low.
When you arrive, the sun is already set.
Excellent.
As you arrive. It is dark, so it's a moonlit night in the middle of a forest in an area of Sweden that is 24 hours from civilization.
Yeah.
And if you decide to walk it, it's forever away from civilization. There's a church that can be glimpsed in the moonlight, and there are cabins and houses exclusively made of wood.
It's all wood.
It's not much to look at. There's houses for the villagers. It looks like you would describe it as a general store, but more like a general store you see in a cowboy movie.
Yes.
You know, one of these ones that just rams everything into a room and you get what you get, and if it isn't there, tough.
Yeah, don't strike a match in here.
It operates as a post office as well, so if people want to send a letter to anywhere in the entire world, it sits in there for 3 weeks until somebody travels. It is a very small village. Village hall, general store, church, graveyard, family home, sawmill, and Karlstrom's house. You are deposited Karlstrom's house, number Sven, which is next to the sawmill.
Yeah.
As 'twere. The sawmill being, well, I mean, it's a sawmill.
Yeah.
I will describe it as that. Karlstrom's house is beautifully ornamented. Wood, but carved.
Nice.
It's a very nice looking place.
Neato.
As you pull up, a hatchet-faced old bitch turns up.
Wow.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, I've cut my
Face
arm.
like an iron.
That's it.
I've cut my arm off on her chin.
Hatchet-faced old bitch
Wow.
turns up.
That's angular.
That is,
Okay.
you'll be pleased to know, your landlady. It's Marta
Marta.
Karlstrom, who is awaiting the huge stuffed envelope full of cash.
What is she doing when the gravedigger isn't using her face to dig up the ground? This shovel-faced bag that man meets us.
Shovel-faced
I
bag.
really thought to myself, actually, it does look a bit like a shovel as he said it.
I suppose you'll be wanting to come in, she says, in her accent, and then she coughs and goes, terribly sorry, I've gone full Sean Connery. I was Russian for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, just slow down.
Graeme is, of course, on fire this evening, but don't worry, we'll put him out. Yeah, she says, yes, I received a letter a few days ago saying that you would be arriving. He was quite confident, August, that you would turn up. I have rooms prepared for you, and I presume that given the lateness of the hour, you will be expecting to be fed. I have prepared some meatballs.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Would you care for some meatballs?
Please give me your balls.
Please give
Stuff
me
some
your
balls
balls.
into my mouth.
Are we the only guests in this establishment at the moment? Or is
From the look of it, might be the only people in the village.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, is she actually an inn or something like that? Or
No,
is she...
I am the owner of the sawmill here, and I have enough space to put lodgers together. There's one room, 2 people will be sharing the double bed in there. There is also some space and some bedding put down in the living room.
Fair enough.
This is not a hotel.
Okay.
This is a woman's house.
This is her house, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Has lodgers.
She put up Nils and Godfrey.
Yeah, well, we know how that worked out. If their belongings are still here, it might be worth, having a look through them.
Yeah.
For notes more than anything else.
It's a 2-storey house, this. So, bedroom is upstairs.
Swanky.
Her bedroom is upstairs. With a
Little Red Riding Hood and
Yeah.
Did you say she owned the sawmill? Or...
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the oldest and finest of her houses. It's made of wood. It's been carved, and the rest of them look like shacks, really.
So she
And is this the one he wants to buy?
He wants to buy the kind of the area and the sawmill and the land around
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
We are here to negotiate.
But it's not compulsory that you negotiate.
No.
It is only effective that you find
He
out.
was
Find out what
encouraging us to.
Yeah, we wanna find
It
out
would be
what happens.
appreciated
Yes.
if you did.
Yeah, so we just basically want to find out what happens to.
We'll put some beds
Godfrey.
down for you. I'll offer you. There'll be a hot meal, a splash of the old aquavita, some beer if you wish. If you wish to have water, anybody, Beulah,
Aquavit for me.
Water.
water.
Yeah.
She smiles at you despite your pungent aroma.
And she chucks a bucket of him.
No. She seems to approve of the fact. You get a smile out of her. No longer the hatchet-faced bitch.
He's in there.
Just watch us.
Well, I mean, you say in there. She likes clean living, and that is one thing. He's living. He's halfway there. He's living. And the water itself is exceptionally clean.
Excellent.
It tastes like real water and not the
GASP.
filth from Uppsala.
That will be handy when we have to bind wounds later.
So while I'm here, I'm thinking, try not to get too.
Too clean?
Familiar.
Too clean?
No. I'm thinking too kind of keep wits about.
Yeah. Are you local?
If you have any information that you wish about Farnster, I am your woman.
Why would a bloke normally of sound mind flee this place and ride
Just
a
go straight in there then.
I've no idea.
Okay.
I'm sure you've been kept abreast of the situation.
I'm thinking the way it might start phrasing off asking the questions is, what were her impressions of Gottfried and Niels when they came? What were they like?
Oh,
How did they interact with the other villagers?
Well, there's very few villagers in the area. I didn't really see them interacting very much with other people. I have my own businesses to attend to. So I didn't really see a great deal of them whilst they were there. Hammerstrom was wanting me to sell the sawmill to von Meyer. And obviously I said, I needed time to think about this. My family has been here for generations.
Yeah.
It may be small, but it's ours. We built this very house from wood taken from this forest. This is my home. My birthright is here. I mean, the sawmill itself is my pride and joy. Do I want to leave? It's a very difficult decision, but the decision seems to have been taken away because they have both left.
Okay.
What was the last you saw of both Gottfried and Niels?
As we believe that Gottfried is still missing.
Yeah. But when was the last time you saw him?
Oh, must have been a week ago.
He wasn't planning to leave the village or anything. He was...
To be honest, I don't know his exact movements and whether or not he was wanting to leave. I mean, it may have been his time to go. He had made me an offer, obviously, as to whether I wished to sell. That was the last I really heard.
Did they leave any
departed.
belongings behind here?
Belongings? Not that I'm aware of.
Well, because it makes a difference between whether it was a planned exit or not. Maybe they were
Spontaneous.
surveying the area on a trail, and that's when they went missing.
Well, this is the thing. They may have gone to see Dorothea Skiet. I mean, she's the largest landowner in the area.
Dorothea.
They're the largest landowner in Farnster. I don't think they're to be trusted, however.
What makes you say that?
Well, I would describe her as a busybody, but she'll buy up land from anyone for half the price. That sort of thing. Bit underhanded, not very keen. Spends a lot of time with the priest.
All right.
So she's under the priest a lot, that's what you should say.
Well, perhaps we should go.
Second
and have a word
largest
with her.
house.
But tomorrow.
Entirely up to you.
It depends how late on it is.
It's after dark.
Yeah, I think we should just bed down and then.
You get to it in the morning.
Eat up. There's plenty more food, she says, sliding the massive bag of cash into her apron.
So this town's not got like a mayor or anything like that.
Oh, you've seen the map.
Hardly a town.
You've seen the
Yeah,
town.
it's small.
It's classified as a village. You would say in English terms it's more of a hamlet, which is a very small collection of a huddle of buildings, effectively. There's not a lot here.
Your family's been here for generations.
Yes, absolutely.
Who are the local characters? You've told us about Dorothea. Who else lives in the village?
What was the minister or priest or whatever?
Yes, Pastor Kidneys.
Well, the villagers themselves, they avoid the outside world, and they're quite happy that the world avoids them. We've got local people who are hunters, some are fishers, some are lumberjacks, and the remainder really are employed in the sawmill, and that's about it. When they're not working, they spend their nights in the village hall. So you'll find them there most times, singing, playing cards, having a bit of a drink here and there. The priest, Father Nystrom, is our priest. He's been there for decades. Absolutely decades.
So he's an old guy then.
He is
Long
older.
lived.
Dorothea really is the one person in the town with any major business. The rest of it is just ordinary fishermen, hunters. If you wish, I can take you to see the sawmill tomorrow, or you may, of course, avail yourself of a visit to Dorothea.
Well, we'll see.
Well, we'll start with the sawmill tomorrow.
You'll probably find the priest around.
You're not going to join us in a little tipple yourself?
I don't partake, if you don't mind.
Yes, a dirty habit.
And she sweeps out back into the kitchen.
Used to it.
Yeah. Drink,
Used
that'll
to it.
drive you to ruin.
He says, sucking on an opium pipe.
Yeah, it's a filthy habit.
I don't suppose we've counted any Vaesen that have red eyes and hang around in forests so far.
You have not encountered very many Vaesen at all. 5 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
5 officially, and we've heard about 2 of them. We've heard about the Groover and ghosts, but haven't counted neither.
I'm a little nervous about this lady.
What do you mean? What could possibly go wrong?
Now I'm a little concerned about this lady. Just
Tickle.
In what
Chuck
way?
it off and stuff. On the floor.
this sawmill is
Tip
her
on that.
life.
Made an offer on somebody buying her family home.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was more of an offer, more of a coercion, though, maybe it was a bit more. You're gonna sell this mill, bitch. And
I think there'd more than 2 of them, if that was the sort of way. And the sawmill's not being burnt to the ground or anything.
the guy said he can't stop progress. He was determined to get this place. Maybe they were a bit more forceful. Like I'm just saying, because last time he went to a pub,
I think you might be reading a bit too much sinister stuff into his business.
Let's not try and solve it.
Nope,
here.
case closed.
Let's get evidence and find out what actually happened.
We're going to go upstairs and murder her,
And just
because Matt's suspicious.
I didn't say we should hurt her. I'm just saying I'm a bit suspicious.
Sometimes people let things slip.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what we'll do is we'll pull off the fake mask of her at the end of the adventure.
You do hear one final thing from Marta.
Shut up.
Lights out!
Yeah, lights out.
Not in 10 minutes.
Lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Snoozy.
Yep.
He has thrown his coat on the floor, walked round it 4 times, and then settled down.
Yeah.
The dog does a thing on his chest.
What about the dog?
Then once he's asleep, I'll just slide him outside.
It is fair.
Then the rest of us can sleep.
No, you've got specifically fitted nasal plugs. You'll be all right.
I'm too stoned not to sleep.
You are woken at literally the crack of dawn by Marta banging around in the kitchen. She's preparing some form of breakfast.
Okay.
Here, showing my horrendous ignorance, she prepares a typical Swedish breakfast of things.
I'm presuming it's pickled herring or something like that.
Herring, yeah.
I do not know. Pickled cornflakes, I've no idea.
It'd be like sausages.
Meats and cheeses and stuff like that.
You'll be backed up for a week. It's pork sausages, beef sausages, lamb sausages,
Oh.
and they are the worst.
Yes.
It's typically
Diverse.
Yes.
sandwiches, liver pate, and crisp bread.
Yeah.
You can't shake your head at me, Jim.
Oh, yes, I can. That was shit. That's coming from me.
Thank you for that.
Stuff.
Scandi Google.
Scandagoogles. You can't use Google, it'll have to be Scandaroo.
Ask Sven.
Yes. Yes, Marta serves you this hearty, meat-filled breakfast.
Yep.
And then says, so what are your plans for the day?
Why are you asking?
Well, we need to investigate the area.
He has gone into the kitchen and asked whether or not any assistance clearing up.
Yeah.
Not only did he have water yesterday, good, honest, clean living, but he's asking to help out with the household chores on this unmarried rich woman.
What attracted you to that sawmill owner?
She is clearly, you are her favourite.
I'm trying to repair the damage he's just done.
Although you do notice that next to the location where you have been sleeping seems to be a towel and a bar of soap.
Huh?
Well, he's eating the soap, though.
Yeah, your breath smells beautiful.
She wants to make it nice for you for the next night, obviously.
He thought it was the cheese.
You help her tidy up.
Simmer down.
Just something you said yesterday just set me
Pipe
off a little
down,
bit.
knuckle.
I was just a bit nervous. I'm just maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't there.
Inside some old woman's house having breakfast. How dangerous do you think this is?
Werewolves come in all shapes and sizes.
Werewolves?
Werewolves.
So
Did I drop some blood in the water?
You
by any
did.
chance?
What if it's a werewolf in the forest? We're all going on a road.
can I have a roll from you? Buddy?
Yeah. What am I rolling on? Or just
Edwin Magnuson, I would like you to roll an empathy roll, please. But straight, naked, bare naked empathy
Okay.
roll.
Bare ass naked.
I get 2 6s. She's a fucking werewolf, isn't she? She's a.
She's a
She
werewolf?
ate that red meat a bit too vigorously.
No, that's just because he's a spinster.
She was looking at Manfred though, so maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Well, every woman looks at him. He's handsome.
Of course. It's the uniform. And the moustache.
And the moustache.
It's regulation,
Gleams.
don't you know?
Are you sending me something, Dave?
Yep. The first of many small asides happens here as Matt's dark secret has an effect as he stares deeply into the forest.
It says nosy bastard.
Probably thinks I'm a werewolf.
Well, fuck. I'm just gonna go. Is it like an outside lavatory? Like an
There's certainly an outside.
Yeah, I'm
Have
gonna-
you soiled yourself?
There is an outside lavatory.
I'll be right back.
Why on earth would there be an indoor lavatory?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just gonna.
only savages defecate in the
lot of
house.
fibre.
Is he taking a shit with his clothes on?
Who know with the stench we already have living with us.
Okay, I'll be right back.
You all right?
Well, like always, he won't share what he knows.
So the day is a crisp morning.
Excellent. It's nice.
I emphasise to say that this is a forest and there are 14 million trees.
I'll
inside.
rejoin him in a few minutes.
In a few minutes, yeah, once he's...
What is going on with you?
Just a lot backed up. Been throwing around that cart for a while.
He's constipated.
Oh, we're giving breakfast. I'm not surprised. I've got the perfect treatment for you.
Yeah.
Laudanum.
But that's what you said I should have for like a mild headache.
And your erectile dysfunction.
Believe me, if you have enough of this, it will give you erectile dysfunction. And therefore, he is
If
absolutely
it wasn't
right.
dysfunction, you kicked me in the balls.
It is the cure for and cause of all your problems.
And you said it was for ingrown toenails.
Yes,
Yeah.
and hair loss.
Do you have any other medicine in that kit?
Yeah, opium. That'll bliss you the fuck out. It's not a cure, it's just excellent.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Morning has broken and the woman is grumpy about you and you've walked off anyway. And Satan's quite taken by the handsome, rather stinky, bearded, unshaven disgusto tramp that you have with you.
Disgusting tramp.
Despite that fact that you are quite a rancid human being, she likes you.
You might be the only beggar in the village.
Yes, because everyone here is employed, full employment in this area.
He's new. He's a new
I'm
thing.
just going to start wearing my bloody leather hot pants now.
Oh, not back to the assless chaps again.
No, that's just because his clothes are disintegrating.
That is true. Yeah.
Probably beggar in the village I am.
should go and we'll have a mooch about the village.
Yeah, you go for a mooch.
Maybe sideline him to discuss what he's beagling about.
What are you beagling about at?
I was just checking to see how many people were around.
Nobody seems to be around the cottage in any way, shape or form.
I'm just checking the tree
Cottage,
line as well,
house.
just making sure like what I can see in the tree line.
Yeah,
making sure
absolutely.
we're safe.
Another of Matt's dark secrets intrudes as he stares once again into the darkness.
What's going on?
I'm fine. Just a bit of a dodgy breakfast, you know. And again, that lady, she's put me on edge. Like, what if she's...
What if she's what,
you know,
exactly?
What if she's going to try and, like, work us out of the village? Like, she's working against us. She's biding her time. Oh, God. Yeah, that's okay.
Well, we'll go and have a look at the sawmill.
My understanding
May
of
as
the
well.
situation was, though,
You can't hear
that
that.
these guys were here for at least a week.
Yeah.
To me, though, it wasn't a case of they arrived one morning and then were hideously murdered that night just because they'd had a conversation with
never
some
mind the fact
person.
that
No,
they
no,
weren't
it's-
easily
but-
murdered.
So
Yeah,
one of them
Nils
escaped.
is particularly
One of them
unmurdered.
escaped, one of them is missing.
Yes, I know. But that's what he seems to think, that we've turned up someplace, you know. It's called the Slaughtered Lamb.
It's a slaughter mill.
Also, I'm sorry, that's far too obvious. That it's the first person we meet, the village is going to kill us.
But it would be nice if we get the chance to ask some questions of
Yeah.
the villagers.
Yes.
So
I'm not going to fire from the hip this time. I'm going to do
I
investigate.
don't want you to fire at all.
I've already
I
fired
want
into
you to be
that.
completely blank.
I've already dropped a load in the forest. But
I've drawn a blank.
The village itself, Village Hall's another red 2-storey wooden building. If it's on an evening, you would expect to be able to hear some laughter and some light from within. But of course, it's no longer that, so they're probably all repaired to their dwellings and then naffed off somewhere into the forest to go and fish and shoot and
Murder
arrow or whatever they
some,
call
some
it.
werewolves or whatever it is
Yeah.
that you think they're doing.
possibly.
You have a priest, you have the Skiat residence, and you have the sawmill, which you want to go and see. And it's a big water wheel on the side, which will power the saw.
Well, Edvin, which ones do you not think are Vaesen? Or do you think they all are? In this case, it doesn't matter.
It could be any of them, really.
Because we'll go talk to them first. You're not going to then spout off and.
I'm
upset
fine.
them.
I'm fine. I'm just
Split
gonna
off.
make sure. As long as we stay away from the forest, I'm all right. We're good.
You're surrounded by the forest.
We stay
I
away
mean,
from the forest.
as long as we're like not
Okay.
in the forest, like as long as we stay.
there's at
This could be a very long day for you.
There's
It's
at
gonna
least
be a
one
very long
tree
adventure
over there,
if I'm
so
right.
there's many forests.
We need to get him some Dutch curry.
You know, in this game,
That's
I don't mind being wrong. I just don't like being right.
The sawmill itself, as I say, it's been here for a very long time. My family has owned this gaff for quite a while.
Do you transport them down the river?
Yes.
Okay, to the town.
Stop wanking.
It calms me down.
I'm not wanking.
Yeah, she just shows you around the sawmill. It isn't much to show. It's a big building full of wood. It's a few bits of wood stacked outside. It's a saw in the middle, powered by a wheel, and a few large, burly Swedish blokes pushing
They're all shirtless as well.
Pushing the wood through.
pushing their wood through,
Manhandling their
wood.
large wood.
Yeah, which then becomes smaller suddenly
But they do look happy.
after a sudden spurt of activity.
They do look relaxed afterwards, though.
It is exactly what you expected it to be.
A sawmill.
And this will be the main employer of the town.
Oh yes.
Of the
As I say,
Yes.
fishing, hunting,
Climbing trees.
climbing trees.
Running, jumping, climbing trees.
Running, jumping, climbing trees is literally the business of this gaff.
Yeah.
You have been given the tour of the sawmill.
Right.
It took you about 4 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
note
not
to
a lot
self,
there.
sawmill is a dead loss.
All the hive of activity we don't know.
I think I might go to the church.
You go to the church. You start heading off to the church.
The church.
The
Yeah,
church.
we'll go and check it out. It's not going to take very long to check everything out.
Time's out.
It isn't.
Going to travel together, or should we all split up?
I think
No,
you know what.
I think we should split up immediately.
I think we should stick together. Actually, I think today we should.
Well, I mean,
A dog howls and he shits himself.
Here's a good
Apparently your dog likes opium.
There is a surprisingly large graveyard though for the size of the town.
The church.
that is, as you may have guessed, a church.
Yeah.
Father Ingvar Nystrom.
Jesus,
Ooh.
that is a chin.
Harder. Harder.
Are they related?
No. Allegedly not.
The family tree to this place is a stump, isn't it?
Good afternoon,
I love it.
he
all of these
says in
portraits.
his best Farnster/Aberdeen accent.
Or maybe the artist only had the one template to work on that day.
It does feel like he's had an etch-a-sketch to do the pictures.
So,
You can't do hands either. Doesn't even see any.
Or fate.
And this is all made with local wood.
Do they all have pointy
No, the
chins round
imported.
here?
Yeah,
This
it's
is
all
this is
like-
what
For their decadence.
No, there's no stone, I imagine.
So that is a stone church clad in wood. So yes, we have a picture. And Ingvar Nystrom is Captain Churchy Pants, otherwise known as Vicar. As you say, it's impossible to miss this. It's got a square tower, grey stone clad in wood. It's the only building in Farnster that is not made of wood. It's located on the outskirts of the village. Graveyard is facing that dark and gaunt and mysterious forest. It is quite imposing. In order to get into the church, you do have to go through the graveyard.
Oh,
Is that all right?
that's fine.
What would be wrong with that?
That's as long as we're outside of the tree line. That's fine.
And you are greeted by Chiselchin, the
Chiselwick.
the vicar, otherwise known as Ingvar Nystrom. Good evening, he says.
Morning.
morning.
Fresh parishioners, is it? Excellent. Maybe you'd like to come inside.
Well, maybe later.
So my first thought on Father Ingvar is he can't tell the difference between night and day.
Why, what did I say?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, I've been up for a while.
He's nocturnal.
Yes.
I'm like a bat
Yeah,
hanging the rafters.
Yeah, he doesn't come out during the day.
That makes
I'm asking for trouble, however. What brings you to our village?
Cards.
Of course.
We're investigating some missing persons.
A
They're missing.
missing person.
We found one of them,
Goodness.
but yeah.
Which of the villages is missing?
Not a resident here.
A visitor to these.
Yes, he's not
Yes.
local.
Gottfried
Hammerstrom.
Hammerstein.
Hammerstrom.
Yeah.
We don't know how strong he
Yes,
is.
Gottfried Strongbow, that's
His
the one.
assistant Niels returned back to
Call him whatever you want.
where he came from, but Gottfried is basically missing, as far as we're aware.
Indeed.
Did you meet this gentleman?
They would have been here around a week ago.
Indeed. I had very little contact, barring yourselves, of course. Barring yourselves. 5. Ooh, quite intimidating.
Took him ages to eat us.
Can you make me?
You fucker!
Can everybody make me?
You stop.
I mean, I'm not aiming it at anyone, you see.
Yes.
It's going to be everyone make me an observation roll.
I will,
Okay.
for no particular reason. I've got one.
I did.
Just the 1 6.
I'm rolling 6s now when I
Yeah,
when I do
okay.
one, two.
No, that's good. That's good.
Eyebrow seems to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I have one.
It looks like he hasn't, done his nails for a few weeks.
I see a 6.
Yeah, but 1 6 out.
So, 1 6 for everyone and 2 6s for G. He did seem a little uncomfortable trying to talk about, Hammerstein. And
Stop.
Hammerstein. He's just carried on.
Right. Okay. Well, did you meet them when they would have been strangers to this place?
I mean, they did come here. And they were trying to entice various villagers to sell their land. I don't think it's the right thing to do. But
Well, what's their job though?
I know, but I don't think it's the right thing to sell. Such industrialisation. I'm not sure it's good for the countryside.
No, I can 100% agree with it.
Yeah. Hindsight, bitch.
The countryside has gone. Oh Jesus!
It's this is a very old town, a very small town. We're a tiny community. We like to keep to ourselves. We've been self-sufficient here for centuries. I know the sawmill, when that came along, those many decades ago, opened a gap to the rest of the world. But it seems that surely that's enough. We have some contact, but life goes on in such a tiny, sleepy little village.
But
That's a good thing.
on the other hand, Father, you opening up to the rest of Scandinavia through selling some land and bringing some trade, that would bring more people here, which would increase your flock, wouldn't it?
Sacrifices, you mean?
Well, he said flock. That's kind of what he meant. He goes. Excellent.
My, what big teeth you have.
I don't. Size isn't important. It's what you do with it. I wish to save the souls of the people in the village. Why do I need more? The outside world can take care of itself. Although if they do come here and join the flock, so be it.
So who else did they manage to speak to while they were here?
Or more than likely everybody, I would have thought. If they were trying to get people to sell their land. I know that the Skiat, Mrs. Skiat, is the largest landowner. But everybody owns a plot of land here.
Did anybody sell, to your knowledge?
That's a matter for their own conscience. I, of course, gave them a sermon on the sanctity of community when the visitors had been here. Maybe it had some effect. My sermons can be quite stirring.
Have you been priest here long?
Oh, only for the last 57 years-ish.
Hello.
You look deep in thought there, Matt.
I was actually thinking, look, I was trying to think what can we see in the church?
Who's guilty now?
Is it
Sorry, what are they?
a shot?
He mentioned Dorothea and the skates
Yes.
a minute ago.
Mrs. Skiat, yes.
Yes.
Certainly.
Well, so far everyone in the village is guilty of something.
What's she like? I'm going to be watching to see how he acts.
What is she like?
Yeah.
He says nice bit of rough.
No, I want to see what she like.
Mrs.
Because obviously,
Mrs. Skiat is
The
a
fact that she's
perfectly nice.
Shovel-faced
You
woman.
said she had large tracts of land.
2 sixes. Clearly, you would say that his eyes lit up a little bit.
He says stroking the priest's leg.
But he says she's a very nice woman. With a lovely young daughter.
Let's go.
What?
Oh, she's got a daughter.
How holds the daughter?
About 12.
Oh, well, no, we don't need to worry them then.
I mean, I say 12. I haven't seen the picture yet.
Have we actually seen any sign of this this daughter at all?
No, we haven't seen the side of
We haven't been to
no,
the
we
house
haven't
yet.
been to the
I
house
haven't
yet.
been there yet.
Oh, no, okay, no.
Yeah,
Skiat.
is the other.
No.
Yeah, no, that's what... I
Not
thought for a
Martha.
minute there we were staying in it.
Carlstrom.
Somehow I
No.
noticed.
No.
Karlstrom is the woman you're thinking of.
Yeah.
No,
Skiat
that's
is the
fine.
other.
I'm on the right page there.
That makes a change.
Who gossiped about the woman saying, "Oh, she's a right gossip." That one.
By gossiping.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm not one for gossip.
Yes, Father Barlymore bursts and says, "Hey."
And the real creature comes out of his skin suit, yeah.
Like the picture Dave's drawing
Like the thing.
of the Cthulhu beast that escapes from his mouth.
I just thought it was a drunk frog.
A drunken frog with tentacles.
How many frogs do you know?
Clearly none. I do like the French.
Looks like it needs to be towed home.
Right, that's the end.
That's it.
Fuck it, get out.
That's it. An abrupt ending, I'm sure you'll agree, but that joke was bad enough, even by our standards, to draw things to a close. Thank you for listening to this increasingly bonkers session of what is described as a dark and sinister role-playing game. Join us next time for the second part of Vaesen, when these intrepid fools continue their incredibly loose investigations on Shovelface and Pastor Kidneys. Will they find out what's going bump in the night, or will they inevitably run screaming into the trees? Oh God, those endless trees. You have been listening to It's Good to Be Bad, with Dave, Ollie, Matt, Dave 2, Graeme and Lee. This episode, It's the Wurst, was recorded on the 12th of January 2024. If this is the first time listening to the show, our previous episodes are all available wherever you like to get your podcasts, or in this case, on Podbean and YouTube. You can interact with us on Facebook, Instagram, and on X, formerly Twitter, on @GoodToBeBad. and can also email us on itsgoodtobebad@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show, please do subscribe and consider leaving us a review rating on your favourite app, or check out our Patreon page. Don't forget, Facebook contains pictures for all of the podcasts. All these things really do help the show. And as always, remember, hatchet-faced old bitch.